Madden added a ton of new celebrations to Madden 27. I'm talking signature celebrations for some of the top players in the league, funny meme dances, 6-7s, and more. But let's kick it off with the signature celebration. So all of these players that I'm going through right here have signatures. All you have to do is press up on the right stick and they will do their signature celebration. Of course, you know the cover boy Caleb Williams, they had to get his right. He's got the Iceman celebration in the game. And if you're playing with the Bears, you're just going to have to do this anytime you score with Caleb. But another really cool one they added was the Shedeur Sanders Watch celebration, where he taps his wrist and then holds his hand up in the air. I know a lot of Shedeur fans out there are going to be happy to see this one. When you're playing with the Browns, this is the only thing you should be doing with Shedeur. You got to rub it in your opponent's face by putting the watch up in the air just like this. They even added Jonathan Taylor's signature dance to the game too. Again, up on the right stick with all of these signatures, that's all you have to do. And with Jonathan Taylor, he'll do his signature touchdown dance just like this. And I ain't gonna lie, this is one of the better looking ones in the league. Now, funny enough, this year, Justin Jefferson actually has a new signature. He's going to fake the hamstring, grab the leg, and then go into his dance. So the Griddy is no longer going to be his signature celebration. Now, the Griddy's still in the game. We'll get to that later. You can still do it. But I think it's cool that Justin Jefferson has a new signature now. I mean, the Griddy is getting a little played out, so they had to update him a little bit. However, for Jamar Chase, the Griddy is still going to be his signature. So when you hit up on the right stick after scoring with Jamar, he's going to break out into the dance that we've seen him do for multiple years now. I mean, it still looks good in the game. So, I mean, hey, why not? Now, like I said, the Griddy's still in the game. Up on the screen, this is how you hit it with just any player in the league if you still want to rock the dance. Now, Puka Nacua also has his own signature celebration. We saw him do this last year, and they actually put it in the game. I'm actually surprised at the number of signatures that they added in this year. You think it might just be 3 or 4 guys. No, they added it for quite a few, and Puka is one of them. Even Jaxon Dart, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a veteran, if you're more of a younger player, they're getting everybody right. And to me, this is just authenticity. We look at all the equipment, we look at the face scans, but the way they celebrate is part of their likeness too. So I'm glad to see that they got Jaxon Dart looking right this year with his signature touchdown dance. Again, up on the right stick is all you got to do to pull this off. We also got the peekaboo celebration for CeeDee Lamb as well. So if you hit up on the right stick, he's going to break this one out. We did see it in college football as well. They brought it over to Madden. We've seen CeeDee do this in game. However, this is a celebration you can do with anybody as well. It's just CeeDee's signature. However, up on the screen here, you'll see how you can do this with any player in the league. So this is definitely one of the better ones they added. If you want to hit this with somebody, this is how you do it. Now up next, we've got Lamar Jackson. Of course, they had to put his signature in the game as well. One of the best players in the league, and he's got his dance in the game when he scores a touchdown. So again, up on the right stick is how you're going to do this for all the players. If your player doesn't have a signature, they're just going to do a generic one, which I'll get to a little bit later. But Lamar's got probably one of the cleanest ones in the game, if you ask me. Patrick Mahomes still has his. It's gotten a slight update over the years. It's been in the game for a while, I believe, but they've got a little bit of an update going with it where he does the jump and then he wipes down the jersey and then flexes. So, of course, Mahomes, one of the best of all time, had to have him looking right. And even Jameis Winston, yes, has a signature in a way. Now, for some reason, this isn't equipped as his signature celebration. I don't know why, but we all know this came from him, eating the W. This is how you do it in the game. You can do it with anybody. I'm not sure why it's not equipped as his signature. Maybe they're going to add that later, but we had to do it with him because that's just his celebration, of course. Now, of course, we've got Cam Ward up next, another young QB. He had his in the game last year, and it's still in the game this year. You can also do this with anybody, which we'll get to in a second, but Cam Ward is who kind of made this really popular at Miami, and he still carried it into the NFL. Now, if you want to do this with any player, up on the screen is how you do it. So this is definitely one of the more, common ones that we see in the NFL now. So it's represented in game. We also got a new version that's called Upstream, which you can do with any player in the game as well. This one kind of looks better in my opinion. Up next, we've got DK Metcalf. He's got his sign language celebration in the game. We saw him add this last year. It's still in there for DK. So if you're playing with the Steelers, you got to break this out if you hit a big touchdown with DK Metcalf. Amon-Ra St. Brown still has his headstand celebration in the game as well. Amon-Ra is kind of funny because he does a lot of different ones throughout the year, but this one's just kind of become known as his signature. So if you hit up on the right stick, that's what you're going to get with him. And Travis Hunter's got a funny one as well. We saw him do this at Colorado, I believe. I don't know why this is equipped as his signature because he's another player that kind of does a lot of different stuff, but this is what you're going to get with him. I don't really love this one too much, but that's what they added. Now, if you don't have a signature celebration and you hit up on the right stick, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get a point to the crowd celebration. Everybody else will do this one if they don't have a signature equipped, and this one's pretty cool. We saw this last year. They kept it in this year, but it's pretty nice. Now, some players also have signature running celebrations. So Saquon, we saw him put this in last year. It's still in here. Up on the screen is how you do this. You want to hit these when you're on a breakaway run for a touchdown, kind of when you're about 20 yards out. Travis Kelce also has his signature run as well, which is pretty funny. This has been in the game for a little bit. But here are just some other ones you can get. The Greg Jennings hamstring. If you know, old Madden lore, but you have that in the game now. And there's just a ton of other ones. Obviously, you can griddy into the end zone with Justin Jefferson at times. You've got different things like putting the ball through your legs, as you can see right here. You've got a number of different high steps. Again, up on the screen, this is how you do all of these. You just kind of get them at random unless a player does have a signature. Otherwise, you're just going to get a different variation of high steps or the anime run, putting the ball between your legs, all kind of different options, but these are always a bunch of fun. Now, with this same button combination, if you hold it down when you get to about the 3-yard line, they'll kind of do a different animation into the end zone. There's a bunch of different ones in the game, just showing you a couple variations right here, but there's a ton of different ones you can get. You just have to hold this down right as you're approaching the goal line, and they'll kind of go into a more generic animation, and you can see some funny stuff. And with this same button combination, if you have a teammate near you and you start holding this down as you're running into the end zone, you'll see some crazy stuff like rock, paper, scissors right here. There's a ton of different ones like this in the game, but it's kind of hard to capture them all because they happen at random, but you have to have a teammate close by you while you're running into the end zone with this combination, and you'll see some pretty funny stuff here as well. Now let's look at some other new celebrations that were added just across the board that anybody could use. So this one is called Dusting the Rug, but we know what this is. This is BTA, and you can do this with the button combination up on the screen. This is probably one of my top 5 favorite ones they added. You got to do this when you score on somebody just to annoy them. We also got another new one in the game called Ready for Whatever. I believe this is kind of like some type of a popular meme dance or something that a streamer cooked up. I can't remember exactly who, but this is how you do this one in the game. So this is another new one that was added. You also got the fake leg injury. Now, we saw Justin Jefferson had one like this, but his is a special signature one. This one is just one that anybody could use where you fake the hamstring and then you break into the dance. So that one is up on the screen right there. That's another pretty good one that they added. I mean, of course, we can't forget about the 6'7". I mean, this is kind of just taking over the world, whether you like it or not. It's called this or that in the game, but this is how you do it. And this is another one that I love doing. It's just annoying to people. We also got a new free throw celebration as well, which is kind of funny because he's hitting a little jab step before shooting a free throw. You don't really see people do that. But either way, this is how you do it in the game. This one, I mean, this one's cool or whatever, but I kind of just like the ones that are more like trolling or dancing people, if you ask me. Up next, we've got a new celebration called On One, and they really just point the finger to the sky and kind of just jump around, kind of mess with the crowd a little bit. So this is another new one that was added to the game, pretty energetic. This next one is called Cry Me a River. Now, these are the ones I kind of like to do on the road because you're kind of taunting the crowd a little bit, in my opinion, when you do these. There's some, different troll ones you can kind of do to the crowd, but this is one of the better ones that they added where he's just going to play the violin and all that. So just a nice new one that they added. This next one they added is called To Fly. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You could see just kind of a simple, more basic one that they added to the game, but it looks pretty good. I mean, I would break this one out from time to time. You also got this one called One Leg Hop. Now, it's kind of just like riding the motorbike. Back in the day, the Saints used to do this a lot. Teddy Bridgewater used to do it, and the team kind of started doing it after him, but that one's new this year. You've got another new one called On the Clock. Again, Amon-Ra has done a lot of these last year. That's why I used him for some of these celebrations, like, the BTA and this one. We've seen him do this in real life, so it's good that they're adding him to the game. I mean, this is authenticity. It's what we see in real life, so I like that we're able to do these in the game now. You also got another one called Through the Legs, which, I mean, it is what it is. You could see they're kind of just doing like a fake through the leg dunk. So this is how you do it. This one's all right in my opinion. I like some of the other ones better though. And of course, we've got Knock Knock, which is basically outlining the door and kicking it down. And for some of these celebrations, I've noticed that they kind of have different animations. They don't always do them the exact same way. They have like the same theme about them, but they might have a slightly different animation with it. But this is kind of the more regular one that you'll see. And then we've got Camera Time. This is another popular dance. I forget what the real name of the dance is, but this is now in the game as well. So you can do this, which is pretty cool. Now, some of the funniest ones they added were the new diving into the touchdown celebrations. You gotta see these because these are just crazy. Now, you do this the same way for all of them. You just press this button combo right as you're crossing the goal line to dive over. And I mean, there's all these new ones. They throw the ball up in the air. They do different kind of flips and stuff. So these are pretty funny. These are the ones that I've seen most people having fun with so far. Now, they also added a bunch of other crazy things to the game this year. And if you want to check that out, make sure to check out this video right here on the screen.